Marzella, welcome to the lake.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're more than welcome. So, we just want to have a conversation today. Let's just let that go and we'll talk about each other. And I'll, maybe what we can do is I'll teach you some things along the way if I see an opportunity where maybe you have an interest in.
Okay. Perfect.
And this can be, it affects real estate, but this can be literally in any financial area of your life. Okay. So give me a little history. So first of all, let me start this by saying we met at a building that I have my offices in.
Yes.
And I don't know why, but you sparked my interest. And I think it was maybe the other things we got to talking about.
Yeah. And plus I'm fabulous. So
exactly. So introduce yourself.
So my name is Marzella Harris. I'm the CEO and founder of True Blessings nonprofit organization. And it's an organization that was founded in 2003. And it was founded for the reasons of providing just blessed services to those that were in need. So our mission is bridging the gap in family needs by decreasing generational poverty. And that's what we try to do, is just make sure everyone has self-sufficient skills to move them from one goal to the next, from one area to the next, from homelessness to stable housing, from no income to income, from no job to a job. So we just want to make sure everyone in their own right has the best ability to do what they need to do to move forward and live their life.
That sounds like you know that. You know exactly what it is that you're doing.
Yes, because I'm a prime example of it.
So tell me a little of that example.
So I am a mother of 5, but I haven't always been. I've been a mother of 1 and 2 and 3.
Sure.
Obviously using the system, using food banks and having those cars that were dying on the side of the road because I didn't do my routine maintenance on them. So just educating people that when you take care of something in the now, then it can take you to the future. And that's less money, less time, less things you have to worry about. So being in those programs and seeing the cycles, I wanted to find a way to decrease the cycles. Someone would tell you, go get a job. So then you would go get a job at McDonald's or something and you hate the job. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? You're back in their office again doing the same program that they forced you to do 2 weeks ago because you went and got a job. You didn't go find your passion. You didn't go to school to do what it is you love to do. You went and found a job. So my goal was anyone who was around me, hey, what is it that you love to do? Oh, I love to walk dogs. Make a business out of it and make what it is you love to do work for you. And that's what I did. I love to
You did that yourself?
Yes, with my own self. One time I took my children, we were at a food bank, and I was not pleased with the quality of the food bank. And I said to myself, how do I make a change in this? And that change was to create True Blessings. And back in 2003, I did want a food bank, but, now I'm on the other things. But create a food bank, and I would hire people just to check to make sure the food was not spoiled. That is what, I don't care what you give me, but make sure you give me what you would like to eat as well.
Sure.
Don't give me something that's 4 or 5 months old, it's got mildew on it, and that's what really drove me to create the business. It also drove me, I had kids, and you would go and you need diapers from somewhere, right? And I know that a lot of agencies are struggling, and that's why I needed to find revenue so that I can provide tremendously for those that I want to provide for. But you would go get diapers and they would give you 6 diapers. And I'm not knocking that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying sometimes that would make a parent come back next week to get another 6 diapers that you clearly told them they can only come back once a month.
Man.
So it didn't help them get out of it. So what we would like to do is if a parent needs diapers, Okay, provide you with a pack of diapers and maybe some wipes or something like that. And then sit down and talk with you. What are your finances? What can you plan to do? And just because we gave you these diapers, it doesn't mean go spend the money. It means double up on these diapers so that you're never in this position ever again.
Right. Wow. That's amazing. That's a perspective that I just don't have. And it's an honor to be sitting here and talking to you and getting that perspective today.
Oh, thank you.
I have a little different perspective of things. I grew up, my dad was a bread driver, so we always had something to
bread.
eat. Yeah, you had donuts or you had bread or you had whatever, right? And he was a good man, did his best, and he had an entrepreneurial spirit about him, and he did several businesses. He had a video game business back in the late 80s, right?
Wow.
So you remember the asteroids and the Pac-Man?
Yes, I love those.
Yeah, so he bought those and put them in grocery stores. Because he delivered bread to the grocery stores, he had a relationship with the store managers.
Yes.
So then he would be able to put his machines in there, and he would split the income with the store. And he bought these, and he placed them. And at first they did great, but it was a real capital. You really needed a lot of capital. You had to update your machines all the time. You had to have better locations. So he tried that. He also came up with a really cool design in the 70s for gross weight stickers. It's a sticker that goes on the side of a truck that tells you how much the truck can haul. Oh. But his were in cursive, and it was a law. You had to have it on your trucks. Now you don't see them on there. But so he tried that, and that entrepreneurial spirit got into me. So I've always kind of been looking for things to do.
Yes.
And but the tools he was using, the path he selected wasn't going to get him where he needed to be. It took too much money, and he didn't have the money in which to put into it. But it was interesting, So throughout high school things, we switched these out. Then I myself decide that when I'm 18 years old and still a senior in high school, that I've got it all figured out, so I'm going to move out. And so I moved out on my own, and then it was a shocker, That's I didn't know that you had to buy the toilet paper that was in the bathroom. That's just stuff that I didn't realize, but I learned quickly. So
and there was no cell phones back then. So what was your device that you used for communications?
Well, you called, and if you had an answering machine, that was pretty good. And we had take the phone off of the kitchen wall, and it had about a 30-foot cord on it. Right. You can go into the other rooms.
Go in the bathroom, privately talk, right. So
you didn't have those. I mean, I remember when, now I'm dating myself a lot, right? But I remember having the thermal fax. And so you had the fax machine that printed out like the receipts of today, and on that. And then after a while, it would all just kind of bleed out because it was sensitive to light. But anyway, so I did that and worked some terrible jobs. I can't say terrible. For me, they were terrible. For instance, I topped trees for a living. So I'd climb up, limb all the branches off, and then fall the tree. But I'm afraid of heights. So, yeah, that's not a good job to go to. You talk about hating a job every day. So I would really think when I was driving my little pickup I bought it for $500, had been rolled over. But I really thought, what if I just hit this parked car right here? Then I won't have to go do that tree today. And it's like one of those things. You just hate what you're doing.
But that's why you have to find what it is you love to do and create your surroundings within that and find the need and then make your money. Absolutely.
But I searched for it. I went from there. I thought, well, I'll just get a better job because I was high school educated. And when I say high school educated, I mean I got by the least amount that I could in high school to graduate, and only because I would get in trouble. I was kind of a goof off, and all those things. But I could study, I could learn, and I just noticed during those jobs that I took, I was trying to improve my job, but it was always going to limit me. So then I started in I got everything that was brought to me. A.L. Williams Insurance, There was Amway. There was all these different things that, you know, people would approach you, especially when you're younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found books and tapes on real estate that a friend of mine from the warehouse had.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, could I borrow them? And he said, borrow them. You can have them. I just did a deal and I lost $10,000. I don't want these things. So he gave them to me, and I studied those for 18 months until I did my first deal.